Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was November's #1 video game in the US if you don't add the two Pokemon games together, and Mafia 3 sold 4.5 million copies in its first week. Today's video is about hollow victories. So that's right, despite all the thumbs down, despite the pay-to-win multiplayer tactics, and despite the hostage situation of Modern Warfare Remastered, somehow Activision was able to announce earlier this week that Call of Duty is retail's #1 grossing console franchise in the US for the 8th consecutive year, and the boldly innovative Infinite Warfare is the #1 grossing console game of the year at retail in the US. Now, of course, they get to goose that number a bunch because of the multiple versions of the game. The $80 version of the game came with Modern Warfare Remastered, for instance. But that's still crazy. That's a crazy thing to say, that this one game has already grossed more than any other console game in the US this year. That's an accomplishment. Mission accomplished, Call of Duty. But I think we all know that it's not all fine with Call of Duty, that there is something wrong. I mean, we can assume there was a big dip in the sales based off estimates. And I mean, Activision even admitted so. Eric Hirschberg said, yeah, expect this one not to sell as well. There's no number at the end of the title. We're okay with that. I think it's honestly the biggest failure of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has been the marketing. Video game marketing has to justify a game's existence so that we can justify our purchase, especially if it's an annualized game. If this game is coming out every year, you have to prove why it should exist every year. You have to say, here's what's new. Here's what we're excited about. Here's what you should be excited about. This is why we had to make this game. And there was no effort at that all year long. Call of Duty marketing is like, it's another Call of Duty game. The best way, I think, to demonstrate this is to look at the live-action ad of this year. Call of Duty, you always got to have a live-action ad. This year, we got Peter Berg directing it. That's the director of Hancock and Battleship. It's got to be good, right? Well, let's see what we got here. We have this uncharismatic boy saying, screw it, let's go to space. Good. Clever. Danny McBride shows up to call Michael Phelps a sea monkey. Very funny. Practically nothing happens. I found an article on Adweek about this particular ad, and what's funny about Adweek is the entire article is kind of celebrating this commercial. 2016 has been a year full of shock and head shaking, says Matthew Curry, group creative director at 72 and Sunny, which created the ad. As we got further into the year, the idea that you could leave the insanity behind to go have some badass fun felt like rich territory. So we came up with the ultimate solution to a world gone mad. Screw it! Let's go to space. Why did no one realize that's what the franchise is doing? That's what it looks like the franchise is doing. To all of us, it looks like we're out of ideas. Screw it, let's go to space. And that's what you named the commercial. That's what you're telling us all. No, you have to be excited to go to space. You can't be resigned to go to space. Oh, guess we gotta go to space. That can't be it. That can't be screw it, let's go to space. I love this quote too. This is in reference to selecting Welcome to the Jungle. Curry says this, classic rock has a timeless cool to it. It fits perfectly with the badass fun and swagger of the Call of Duty brand. For this particular spot, we considered everything from end-of-the-world songs to songs about escape. In the end, Welcome to the Jungle had the perfect tone and message to tee up the badass fun of battling through the chaos of space. Somehow, despite the fact that Call of Duty, it gets to keep its US and most likely global win streak alive, I think that this is the last we will ever see of the Soldier in All of Us ads. I think the Call of Duty brand had a kick in the pants this year. It's a so long old campaign. There will need to be something new in the new year, because I think Call of Duty has proven that it is not timeless cool. And neither is Guns N' Roses. The other big news I wanted to talk about, Mafia 3, selling 4.5 million copies in its first week. Take-Two got to announce that this game, Mafia 3, is 2K's fastest selling game of all time. Goodbye, NBA 2K. So long, Borderlands. So long, Bioshock. Fastest selling is Mafia 3 somehow. That's pretty crazy. That's a big success, right? That feels good. When I look at that 4.5 million, however, I see that strictly as a success of marketing. Because it's important to note, when they say 4.5 million sold, that's sold in. There's a difference between sold in and sold through. Sold in, sold to retailers. Sold through, sold to humans. I realize there shouldn't be a big difference, right? Sold in, they're still making all that money. Sold in, yes, all 2K gets it, Take-Two, you all get that money. However, sold through is how you get repeated success. That's at stores. Sold in is on the shelves, and then as they sell through, you have a successful franchise. So yeah, when you look at Mafia 3 selling 4.5 million sold in, yeah, great job marketing team. Great job not giving out review copies. You did it. You succeeded there. I think back to E3. I think about the booth that 2K had. It was dedicated entirely to Mafia 3, and it was beautiful. It was just this recreation of New Orleans, and it was interesting. It was Disneyland. They had a palm reader in there. They had people marching through the hallways and stopping to dance, and they were fun and talented. And I remember looking at this stuff. It's all cool. And I was thinking, what, do people like Mafia this much? And yeah, it's that kind of confusing thing of, is this more popular than I perceived? No, it's just a lot of marketing money. Because then I remembered, E3 isn't just for people like me who make a living off talking about video games. E3 is also for retailers. Retailers go there. And it's important to remember that what a retailer's life is like. Like, let's imagine we're in charge of Sears. Sears has entrusted us to buy copies of video games to sell at the store. Obviously, we want to buy just about as much as we can sell and not much more. And that's hard for video games. I admit that'd be an incredibly hard job. What do we have to base the number on? Well, pre-orders, obviously. If you get a lot of pre-orders, you can assume there's a big demand for the game and it will sell well. That's why retailers love pre-orders so much. You have the franchise's popularity previously, and I guess the genre's popularity. And you have the publisher. There's a publisher you can trust. I'm going to buy more games from 2K Games than Schlamdog Games. So yeah, 2K's on the phone with you. You're at E3. They're showing you around the booth. 2K says, hey, do you like Grand Theft Auto 5? We got another game like that. We're Take-Two, baby. It's like, whoa. Well, I sold a lot of GTA 5. And you say this Mafia 3 is like that? Mm-hmm. It's amazing. It's a big budget. Okay. I guess I'll order 4.5 million copies, and that's just how it's done. Ugh. So, yeah, I mean, that is... I don't mean to discredit the game too much. I don't want to say it's a bad game. Obviously, it reviewed how it did. It reviewed in the bottom third of video games. This success is not just the marketing team, it's the marketing budget. I want to read to you a quote. I want to read to you something a gaming CEO said that is one of the craziest quotes I've ever seen from a gaming CEO. One moment. This is from Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick. This is what he said at an investor meeting. In terms of the reviews and scores, sort of an odd anomaly. I think we and our competitors are seeing some anomalies in the review system. We take them as they are and we don't argue with it. But I think we do have an enormous number of exceedingly favorable reviews. And most importantly, consumers love the title and they are buying it hand over fist. And that, at the end of the day, that's how we're judged. It's hilarious then that consumers buying the game hand over fist, the true metric of the judgment of the game's success, that's the secret number. That's the one we can't know. We know how many retailers are buying the game. Consumers, no. We don't want to be judged. And I don't want to point at Zelnick and say, look, he's a bad guy. I think when he says these things, he knows. He knows the game isn't GTA 5. He knows it probably got the reviews it deserved. I think he is saying sweet things to investors, which is part of the business. It's just so insincere. You would like to hear this person acknowledge the game that was out there. You would like to hear this person acknowledge the thoughts of the people who did pay hand over fist for this game, than to have it brushed aside as anomalies. Crazy speak there. And if you think I'm being unfair about Mafia 3's success, I want to just tell you a little story about 2K Games. We're going to go back in time. We're going all the way back to 1 year ago. Because in February of 2015, that's when 2K launched Evolve with another huge marketing campaign. Evolve was really propped up for success. And 1 month later, 2K was allowed to announce that Evolve had already sold 2.5 million copies. Sold in, on shelves. Sorry, Sears. And even in that month, Zelnick himself said this will be a permanent franchise. Look forward to more Evolve. And now, after a genuine attempt from Turtle Rock to make Evolve into a working free-to-play game, make it workable, it's officially dead. It has officially failed. I don't think anyone would argue that. Evolve is gone. And so it's hard to be excited about that 2.5 million copies, and it's hard to be excited about Mafia 3's 4.5 million copies. It's hard to be excited about Call of Duty's 8th year in a row, right? It's hard to be excited about any of that because we don't know what it means. We don't actually know what it means. And so when these series return, and they will, Call of Duty probably next year, right? Mafia definitely, probably won't be Mafia 4, it'll be Mafia : something. They'll come back. When they come back, they have a lot to prove. The marketing teams will have to prove why these games need to exist. The games themselves will have to prove why they need to exist. That's actually one of the reasons I'm proud of Ubisoft this year, who cut off Assassin's Creed from its annual train. You know, and that game was an annual franchise, an annual series. They took a break on it because they saw sentiment going down. They probably saw a big gap between sold in and sold through, right? It's like, oh, okay, let's take a reconsideration here. Let's make a game that needs to exist. Let's let people feel like they're buying a game that they had to buy. And so I absolutely appreciate that. It's encouraging to see something like that. And yeah, I mean, that's all I wanted to say today, I guess. Looking forward to 2017. Maybe we'll see more publishers handle their games with the respect they need to be handled with, right? Sentiment matters. If you make a game that people love, that will eventually make you more money. It will. It's worth making things that people love because we spend money on the things we love. If we got to talk dollars and cents. Anyway, that's the whole video. Thanks for watching this. I'm not on Twitter still. Easy Allies is worth checking out. Check out easyallies.com and patreon.com/easyallies to see what myself and a bunch of the people I get to work with are up to. We're obviously going to be on a holiday break soon too, so not too much coming up, but if you've never heard of it before, lots to catch up on. Yeah, and I don't know if I'll put another video up on this channel before 2017, so thanks for hanging in there with me. I got more things that I want to put up, so I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, you know that I'm a solutions-oriented person, right? I don't like to go on these videos and just complain without coming up with answers. And I thought a lot about this live-action trailer for Infinite Warfare. It needs help. And I'm here. So what I did, I recut the trailer. I wanted it to make it, I don't know, something that says something that resonates in the heartbeats of its audience a little more, you know? Something fresh, something exciting. And so yeah, I'm going to present to you, and Activision, take it, it's free. Here's my re-edit of Infinite Warfare's Screw It, Let's Go to Space trailer.
Screw this. Let's go to space.
This is my pool, sea monkey.